Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, as you'll have seen from the title, I'm going to do a video for you on the new Dior Forever Undercover foundation. Now the Dior Forever foundation, which is the one that already is out, not the new one, is, excuse me, sorry if I sound a bit ill. I am essentially still getting over a cold. I've been unwell this week and it's still a little bit on my throat, so sorry about that. So yes, the Forever foundation is a foundation that a lot of people seriously love. Jacqueline Hill, who I think is amazing, swears by this. She says it's her sort of, ride or die foundation. And so I keep sticking with it, trying to make it work because she loves it so much. But it just doesn't work for me, and I felt a bit better that another YouTuber I watched, Tatty, she said the same, that for her she cannot make it work at all, and then it sort of creases a bit on the skin. And I just find that there's a lot more foundations that I love. So when I was in Selfridges doing a bit of shopping the other week, I'd seen that they'd got the new Forever Undercover foundation out, and they tried to obviously, do you want to buy it, what have you, but I think because I just really didn't get on with Forever, normally a new foundation I'm like, yeah, buy it, done, love it. And instead they gave me a sample, so I have only got a little bottle, but I just wanted to see how I get on with it before I invest in it, as I hated the other one so much. So I've decided that I'm going to do a little wear test and just see how I get on with it. So I've got my eyes and my eyebrows done. I will get my foundation on. I'll then finish the rest of my makeup off camera, give you my first impressions, and then before I take it off later on today, I'll just report back and let you know how I've got on with it, how it's sort of settled as the day goes on, and how my skin sort of work with it. Sometimes your natural oils can make a foundation look a bit nicer, which is great, but for me I don't want to have to wait a couple of hours for a foundation to look great, so we will see. It's meant to be a bit more of a matte finish, and I never wear matte foundations, so that's already a we'll see. They're sort of claims that it's meant to be sort of spectacular, so we will see. They did a bit of a colour match. I did have a bit of fake tan on then, so you'll have to bear with me if it doesn't 100% match. And I'm going to do half beauty blender, half brush, and I'm just going to go in with primer first because I would always wear a primer, and this is the Tom Ford Illuminating Primer. This is new to my collection. I am liking it. It's very expensive. I'm not sure whether I like it enough to say to you to go out and spend the, God, I don't know, I want to say maybe 60, I can't remember how much it was, but I bought two things and it was like £113. So yeah, it's probably like 60 quid or something crazy. Obviously I would never normally have done my brows first, which does make it a bit more painful, like trying to take the product carefully around, but you can't do such a bright eyeshadow like this and then have no brows on, you look crazy. So I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. Oh, I always forget with Christian Dior they do these nice, I don't even know what it's called, but rather than tipping out the bottle, one of these little dabby things. So as they've got one of those, I'm going to draw it on the face. Getting quite a lot of redness at the moment, and I had 3 or 4 quite large spots come on my chin. They've gone, but the scars are not going anywhere. Now I don't know how thick this, I don't know how much you need, so we'll just go in with a few blobs to start with, and I'll go with the brush on this side. Under these lights I do actually really like the finish of that Tom Ford primer. I think I'll do my chin with the brush, then I'll do my whole forehead with the beauty blender. Again, I've got a really dry skin around my nose, so if you can see anything, it's not bogus. It is the dry skin, which is the remnants of my cold and non-stop blowing of my nose. I tried desperately to not actually blow it and to just dab it, but it doesn't end up like that, does it? Wow, it blends very quickly. I mean, that took no time. Oh, I'm not doing my forehead with the brush, am I? Took no time at all. I absolutely prefer the finish to this already than the Dior Forever, just the original one. It sits a lot nicer on my skin. I wouldn't say it's a super full coverage. We'll see how I get on with the beauty blender. I can still see some little scars as I say, from that cluster of spots on my chin sticking through. And I can see a little mark here, which is again a scar vein. I can see the redness on my chin. So I wouldn't say when it's meant to be spectacular that it is necessarily full coverage. Let's see how we get on with the beauty blender. My beauty blender is quite wet, so I might need to put a bit more product on, because obviously a really damp beauty blender is going to shear this out even more, which isn't going to help. Yeah, I can already see that I'm going to need to go in with some more. I'll put it straight onto the beauty blender, in fact. Let's just tip it up and put a bit on. I'd normally put it on the back of my hand and then scrape it off. Oh. Come on. None wants to come out. This can be like a bottle of tomato ketchup and you're shaking it around, none comes out and you've got like half a plate full. That's better. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a full coverage foundation. I mean, I don't always wear full coverage. I quite often will wear BB creams because I normally have fairly even skin, normally just a bit of redness in the cheeks that I try to sort of like even out. So, you know, it's not a big deal to me that something isn't full coverage, but if you're thinking like the Forever, which is pretty full coverage, that you're going to get the same, you won't. I'm really liking that actually. I can see that I've got a little crease already. I don't know how much the camera will pick up, but round the corner of my nose, I'm just going to try and get the brush and rub that in a bit more, but I could see a bit of a crease, which I don't often get, to be honest. It isn't sinking into my pores, and although I used a primer, obviously that's an illuminating primer, it's not a pore filling primer, so you know, that's quite impressive. It's not sort of caking up between my nose, and it has given quite a nice coverage. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more and see whether I can cover up that little mark that's left. Put a bit more on my cheeks just to see if we can get rid of that, and again on my chin here. Let's see how it layers and if the layers will then help. So I'm going to sort of like push it in this time rather than do circles, just to see if that will help build. Yeah, that's definitely gone on nicely and helped cover it up. So let's stipple it in rather than kind of rub it. Yeah, that's definitely covered. So it is, oh, let's do the beauty blender on this side. It's definitely a little bit too dark for my natural skin. You'll see I've had to sort of take that down the neck, and even there you can sort of see a bit of a gradient, but as I say, I was colour match when I've got a bit of fake tan on. Right, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on. I'll come back and give my first impressions, and as I say, we'll then leave it on for the rest of the day. I think it's about 2:30 now. I'm not going out tonight, so I don't really want to sit with a full face of makeup on all evening. You know, Saturday night in's quite a rare thing, so it's quite nice to be able to have some goodness on the skin. So I'll probably check in after dinner, and then I'll go and take it off, and I'll let you know what I think. So I have just popped on a little bit of contour, which I went with a cream to try and see how a cream blended on top, and I went with a little bit of a cream highlighter as well. And then I've gone in with a tiny bit of a powder bronzer and a powder blusher, so that I've really tried to test out sort of all different consistencies on the face. I've obviously put my concealer on, and I've powdered under the eyes and the tiniest little bit around the nose, and I haven't powdered anywhere else because I never powder. Well, very rarely. I think I would powder, you know, if it's summer and I'm going to a long event, but I have really dry skin, and it's just not something that I need to do, and I think it would be unfair to powder it because I think it would make my skin cakier. I really really like this on first impressions, like surprisingly so. I expected to kind of actively dislike it after how I got on with the last Forever foundation. I think it isn't sitting in my pores at all, which not just the other foundation but most foundations that I use without a pore filler, anybody that watches regularly, I always use my NARS pore filler. I don't know why I didn't, I just didn't, and it isn't sitting in the pores. I think, you know, it is a bit too dark, but it's not a horrendous colour match. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it, so I'm going to film a few more videos. So if you see this makeup on my other videos, you'll know why. As I say, carry on with the rest of my day, and then I'll come back to you. I'll let you know what time it is, but maybe about 7, half 7, and let you know how I've gone with it. Alright, see you in a bit. So, I've now changed into my pyjama top, and I'm about to take my makeup off for the evening, so I thought I'd do one last check-in. So you can see my lipstick's all come off. I would say it hasn't really broken down anywhere, it's not settling in my pores. I can see in some of my slight fine lines I've eaten, so I've had dinner, and I think it's slightly settled, but let's just see how it sort of blends out. Yeah, fine, like there was a tiny little crease, but like the tiniest bit of blending and that's blended out. I think I really like it, so yeah, I would give that a big thumbs up. I'm going to definitely buy that. And yeah, that's everything. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!